Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a silent battle that you probably fight literally every single day. You know the exact feeling, right? You're staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m., completely wide awake. Or maybe you're standing in front of the open pantry making a choice you know you're going to regret in about 5 minutes. It's exhausting. Well, today we're exploring the fascinating science of why that actually happens, and we're going to uncover the biological secrets behind mastering your inner caveman.
Seriously, why exactly is it so incredibly hard to put the phone down? Why can't you stop scrolling late at night, even when your eyes are literally burning? Or why does that sudden, intense urge to grab a sugary snack feel absolutely impossible to fight off? We all face this exact same scenario. We find ourselves incredibly frustrated with our own behavior, just kind of wondering why we can't flip a switch and be perfectly disciplined. It feels like this massive, unbeatable flaw in our character, like we just don't have the willpower to make the right choices when we're tired or stressed out.
But here is the massive, relieving twist for you. It's actually not your fault, and it is definitely not a lack of willpower. The truth is, your mind is playing a brilliant, ancient trick on you. You see, we live in this hyper-modern world full of smartphones, high-speed internet, and instant gratification, but the biological hardware inside our skulls, well, it hasn't received a meaningful software update in over 10,000 years. Essentially, your brain is a biological time traveler, still fully operating as if you were trying to survive the Ice Age. Okay, let's dive right into section 1, the willpower myth. So this brings us to the core concept for today's explainer, evolutionary mismatch. This happens when biological hardware that adapted for a brutal, freezing environment operates in a modern world of instant gratification. Just think about our ancestors for a second. They survived by adapting to incredibly harsh conditions. For them, every single day was a literal waking battle against starvation, freezing temperatures, and terrifying predators. The wild part is, your brain still thinks you are fighting that exact same battle today. You might be walking around a modern, climate-controlled city with an iced coffee in your hand, but your biological hardware is secretly screaming at you to survive the harsh winter tundra. Moving right along to section 2, the famine fallacy. Let's think about our modern relationship with food for a minute, and why diets often feel like an absolute nightmare. Back in the Ice Age, coming across a source of high-calorie sugar or fat, like a rare bush of wild berries or a fatty piece of meat, was incredibly unlikely. Finding something sweet was basically like winning the biological lottery. To ensure survival, the human brain evolved a powerful, overwhelming reward system that essentially screams, eat as much as you possibly can right now, because we have absolutely no idea when we're going to find food again. Fast forward to today. Your ancient brain has absolutely no comprehension that Uber Eats, DoorDash, and 24-hour drive-thrus with brightly lit neon signs even exist. I mean, this brilliantly highlights just how absurd our daily struggles really are. When you see a box of donuts or a juicy burger, you aren't just a little hungry. To your subconscious mind, your primitive brain genuinely believes a massive, life-threatening famine is just around the corner. It initiates a literal, life-saving survival protocol right there in the office break room. It's forcing you to binge eat because, in its outdated logic, it thinks it's saving your life from imminent starvation. Which leads us perfectly into section 3, surviving the digital tribe. Now, what's really fascinating here is how this ancient programming goes way deeper than just our diets. It completely dictates our modern social lives, too. Back in the Stone Age, being part of a tribe was a literal matter of life and death. If you were banished or rejected by your group, you were left alone in the wild to freeze or be hunted by predators. The stakes were absolute. Today, that exact same deep-rooted primal fear of tribal rejection is triggered by the little glowing rectangle sitting in your pocket. When you post something online and it gets 0 likes, or when you feel excluded from a group chat, it's not just a minor bummer. To your ancient hardware, it registers as a lethal threat. So when that modern rejection happens, you experience what we can call the caveman panic response. Your brain instantly goes into full-blown panic mode. You feel this strange sense of dread and severe anxiety just washing over you. Why? Because your inner caveman is entirely convinced that you are being kicked out of the tribe and left to die alone in the jungle. It sounds extreme to our logical minds, right? But biologically, that is exactly the distress signal your body is sending you, all because of an algorithm on a social media app. Let's look at how this impacts work in section 4, the email predator. This mismatch also translates seamlessly into our professional lives, proving how our daily stress is just totally out of sync with reality. When our ancestors encountered a massive saber-toothed tiger, their brains instantly flooded their bodies with cortisol and adrenaline. This classic fight or flight response was specifically designed to fuel their muscles, forcing them to either violently attack the danger or sprint for their lives. In the modern world, you obviously don't face wild animals prowling around your cubicle, but you do face aggressive emails from your boss, impending project deadlines, and financial stress. The real problem here is that your brain literally cannot tell the difference between a threatening email and a deadly predator. It triggers a modern false alarm, creating the exact same physical response. Your heart races, your palms sweat, and your mind just spirals into intense overthinking. Your body is physically preparing to sprint through the jungle, but instead, you're just sitting completely still in an ergonomic desk chair. You're experiencing the biological terror of being hunted by a wild animal over a situation that can actually be solved by simply typing out a reply on your keyboard. So, how do we fix this? That brings us to Section 5, Mastering Your Caveman. Understanding this massive evolutionary mismatch is basically the ultimate cheat code to navigating modern life without losing your mind. The next time you feel an uncontrollable craving for junk food, a wave of social anxiety from your phone, or intense stress over a minor work issue, you have to intercept that ancient software. First, just take a deep breath to physically break the panic cycle. Second, consciously acknowledge what is actually happening in reality. And finally, remind yourself firmly that there is no predator chasing you right now. Next time you feel completely overwhelmed, just remember, the fridge is fully stocked, you are safe in your home, your prehistoric brain is simply trying to protect you from a world that no longer exists. There is immense power and honestly incredible peace in just recognizing the caveman within and separating those ancient survival instincts from our extremely comfortable modern reality. So, I want to leave you with a question to really ponder. Now that you know your inner caveman is the one secretly running the show, what will you do differently next time they try to take the wheel? The next time panic, anxiety, or an uncontrollable craving hits, remember the mismatched hardware inside your head. You have the knowledge now, and it's time to take back control. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope it completely changes the way you look at your daily habits.